Hello and welcome back to my craft room. Well, I've been feeling a bit under the weather for the last few days. Had some kind of a cold or something going on. Not COVID, I did check a couple of times. Not COVID, just a weird cold. Very strange. Anyway, I'm feeling a bit better now, and I'm just starting to get all the buzz about Inktober. Everybody's starting to talk about Inktober. The list is out and everything, so I thought, right, I'm going to get my stuff ready because I can take my little sketchbook with me and start working on ideas while I'm away, which is end of next week. So let me show you what I've got on my desk here. I'm going to do some preparation before I start. I found that last year I got fed up with just black and white. I really got fed up with just black and white. So I'm going to prep my pages before I even start with some colour. So I've got a whole range of these Bombay India inks in all colours of the rainbow. So I'm going to add a splash of colour first and then do my ink drawings onto those backgrounds. I'll show you a bit more about that in a minute. Inktober is, I'm coming back to my face now, you know, Inktober, it's quite a commitment, isn't it? 31 days, you've got to do something every day for 31 days, which is brilliant. That's a really good practice to get into, but it is quite a commitment. So I need to be able to, start working on it now, so I'm all kind of prepared and it's easy and fun to do at the time. And I need to make the little kit that I'm using every day really portable, so I can do it wherever I happen to be, even if I'm away, if I'm downstairs, if I'm up here out in the garden, whatever. So here's my plan. I want my little portable kit all to go in this is my Scrawlerbox fancy pencil case. So I love these because they're long enough obviously to take, you know, full length pencils, but when you open them and do this, they slide down to form a little kind of pot that stands on your desk. And this is the very minimal kit compared to last year that I'm going to be keeping with me. I'm not sure I need the ruler, but it was small enough to go in and I like it, so it's gone in. I might want it. I've got a kneaded eraser, a sharpener and some spare pencil leads in there. This is my favourite. I love having a mechanical pencil. It's the first thing I reach for when I'm just sketching, so I'm going to need that. And this is one we got in a recent Scrawlerbox. I love it because you don't have to adjust your grip or anything really. You just press like that when you need more lead, which is great. And it's got this retractable eraser as well in the top. So that's what the spare leads are for. And then I've got my favourite fine liners really are micron pens. So with this one I've got a 005, which is really fine, a brush, and a 12, which is the fattest sort of finest you could still call a fine liner. I love micron pens. I just think they're so reliable. And my favourite white pen, my favourite all-time white pen, the Uniball Signo. Well, that and a white Posca pen. Also, that's another favourite white pen. I'll just go over everything, but I felt like that wasn't really ink, that was more paint, so I've gone for this. And then I love this pen because it's brush pen with a flexible nib, and it's black one end and grey the other. And I just wanted a 0.3 as well, so I happen to have this Unipin fine liner. And then another one of my favourite pencils is this Pick Graphite Matte. It's a Faber-Castell one, and it's graphite but it's matte. I love it. We got, I think that was in a Scrawlerbox as well, we got a 6B and a 14B. So that is going to be my little portable kit, but I've also got some other kind of inking things here as well. So I wanted to have a go. I wanted to try doing a bit more kind of mark making with actual ink as well this year. Some days I'm going to have to work up here because this isn't really going to be supportable. So I wanted to try some different ways of making marks. I've got a couple of these gorgeous glass pens here that I've used, but not very much. So good time to get these out. They're so beautiful. Makes me think of a unicorn's horn. It does not really show very well on the camera, but that's the most beautiful kind of shell pink in there. And this, because of this spiral design on the nib, it holds the ink really well. And believe it or not, they will they'll do like kind of half a page of writing these. They're brilliant. It's amazing how much ink they hold. So I'm going to try and make an effort to use those. Just show you the other one. It's kind of the same thing, but a different design really. also really beautiful. I think I just bought them because I loved them, but actually they are really functional as well. So I'm going to keep those handy, but they won't. This will be my portable kit for when I want to do my drawing downstairs. And then I've also got these this dip pen with lots and lots of different. It's more for writing really, but I did think it would be quite nice to try this out. This might be a bit over ambitious. I might not use all these things. I just wanted to have them handy. So you just poke the nibs into the pen like that and just dip. So I thought, right, I'll keep that handy as well. I've got these beautiful Chinese writing brushes with a little rest as well, which would be fun to try out. And they came with a mat that you can just practice on with water. I haven't got that handy right now to show you, but so here we go. They come with these mats, which are really good for practicing your technique. Now I haven't got a pot of water here, so I can't really show you, but the idea is that you can just need a tiny bit just to show you. So when you paint on, there we go, it looks like you're painting on with ink, doesn't it? But when that dries, you'll see in a minute. I'm going to leave that there and I'll show you in a minute. When it dries, it just disappears. So it's great for practicing your strokes on. So I've got those out. And then because I saw Kasper, illustrator named Kasper, doing it on his channel, which I will link to, because I thought I'm not even going to try and show you how to do it. Because I saw him making a bamboo pen, I wanted to do the same. So I've cut myself a little bit of bamboo it's just off one of my bamboo canes that I have for sweet peas and beans and things in the garden. Oops, sorry for the wobble. I've just cut a little end off of that, which I thought looked a sort of handy size to hold. You cut the end off at 45 degrees. I used my razor saw that I usually use for doing plastic surgery on Barbies. And that did a really nice clean cut. It was really quick and easy to do. That worked really well. And now what I need to do apparently is just, I've got this pen ready, is just cut a slit here. So you've got that sort of pulpy inside. I don't think that's going to matter, but I might have to scrape that away. I'm not sure. I don't remember Kasper's having any pulpy inside. It's like it's got a hollow middle. There we go. And then you have to just split. Just make a split there. Now Johnny of Just Johnny Creations also made his own version of this, and he prettied it up by adding some Fimo and stuff to the handle. I've decided I quite fancied the idea of that. Then I decided I wouldn't do it because I think it's just going to make it too heavy for me to comfortably hold. I might have to work on the split a bit more. I won't do that. I won't do that now. I'm not sure if you can see that the split is there. I'm not sure. I'm going to experiment a bit. I'll do that off camera. I'm not sure if that's going to be enough of a split or if I'll have to widen it a bit. I might have to watch Kasper's tutorial again, but I will link to that so you can check it out if you fancy having a go at doing that. I love the idea of making my own pen, and his looked at it. It looked amazing. It worked so well. Oh look, you can see now that there's a bit of where I've dripped some water there. You can see that as it dries up, it's just fading away, and that will be gone completely because this has been completely covered. I've done all of these letters before practicing. This is really good. It came free in a little kit that I bought. There was a Chinese lady at the library one time doing lessons, so I sat and did some lessons with her. She's a lovely lady, and she showed me she tried to show me how to say some of the letters as well. And it's very important, you know, the order that you form the letters in and everything as well, that you do the strokes in. Yeah, it's really interesting. So I was so keen. She had one of these with these practice mats, so I was so taken with it. I bought myself some. They weren't expensive. Okay, so that is my ink and my tools, and then this is my little sketchbook that I'm going to use. So this was an Art Gecko one, and I love that you know it's Art Gecko because they always have that cute little gecko footprint on somewhere, and they always have these lovely things in the front, these little sheets in the front with the lovely lizard skin texture, or gecko skin texture I suppose. So Art Gecko. It's called a Classy. It was only $4.99. It's A5 size. A bit small for me really. I prefer to work a bit bigger, but I just thought if I'm going to be doing it every day for 31 days, I need to keep it small. And this is just, I think it was 150 GSM. It's fairly lightweight paper. It's just cartridge paper. So I'm hoping it will be all right to take a little bit of wet medium, because I'm going to be throwing ink around a bit and a little bit of water. I'm hoping it will stand up to it. What I've done to prepare is to do myself thumbnails for each day. So I've got 9 on each page, and then just put 4 on this page just to finish it off. And I've actually written my prompts. So this is how I'm going to lay out every page. I'm going to mark myself out a square and write the word, the prompt word, and the number. And then I'll do a very, very rough sketch in each one to start myself off with. I've started sketching in here. So this is kind of the layout I'm thinking. I started doing this when I thought I was going to get a square book, and I ended up getting a rectangular book. But I'm going to basically mask off a square, throw some coloured ink into that. I'll probably get that all done next week even. Write the word like this and the number, and then do my sketch just in black and white onto that coloured background. So for each page I'm going to do a little sort of rough spread in my sketchbook just to work up some ideas, because if I leave it all to do on the day during October, I know I won't keep up with it. It'll be too much. Whereas if I do it like this, I've got time to enjoy it. So this one was for gargoyle, and I just, having drawn all those dragons, I thought I would do a kind of more dragon style gargoyle, just as if it's come to life and it's just landing back on its perch. But then I came across some images of those gargoyles with the like comical faces and the tongues hanging out in the water, and I think I'm more drawn to this actually, because I love doing faces. Some of them I will go outside of the coloured box that I'm going to create here as well. I like the idea of just going outside the box. So that was gargoyle. I think the next one was scurry, and I've got this idea of a little scurry of rats, with some of them coming outside of the box. Have I done any more yet? Bat was just like rooftops, and so yeah, each of my thumbnails will be as sketchy as that. I haven't got room for any more. Scallop, I wasn't very... Yeah, so some of the words in the official list I wasn't all that struck by. There's always some that you don't like, but you're not obliged to follow the official Inktober prompt list. There are always lots of other prompt lists around, or you can follow a previous year, or you can come up with your own theme. What I've done is mix the official 2022 Inktober prompt list with the Doomtober 2022 prompt list. So I've got a mixture of the two. So here are mine. So I've got gargoyle, scurry, bat, scallop, I think they're all Inktober so far, flame, bouquet, trip, match, and nest. I think those are all Inktober prompt lists so far. Axe, now we're going into Doomtober now. Eyeballs, Doomtober. Well, that was underneath, Doomtober. Ritual, Doomtober. Empty, back to the official prompt list. Wings, Doomtober. Foul, salty, tentacle, that was Doomtober. So yeah, I've just mixed and matched. Mutant, wizard, bad dog, rat, witch, fairy, castle, ego, snack, creep, uh-oh, gear, and farm. So a lot of those are still going to be really challenging, but I've cut out a couple that I just thought, I just don't want to do that. Like, well, I called it booger. My son says it should be booger because it's American. That was one I didn't really feel inspired by. That I did crabby, eagle, forget, kind, armadillo. I just did. I mean, there's obvious things you could do with some of those, but I just didn't fancy it. Heist. I just bad dog. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Ponytail I didn't fancy, so I went for mutant instead. Bluff, I just no. Yeah, so I've kind of mixed and matched, and to be honest, as I go along, if I get really stumped, I might change my mind again. So all I'm going to do in in this, I've got all my thumbnails ready now. I'm going to be able to leave a double page for each day. I've got there are 40 sheets in this, so it was ideal. So I've used up a couple in the front there. I've still got a page clear at the front. I could do a prompt list. So I'll be able to leave that one blank, work on this one, that one blank, work on this one. So all I'm going to do for each page, and I've decided it would be easy to work this way up so that this doesn't get in my way. And I'll sit and do this quietly whilst I watch a bit of YouTube or something. Is I'm just going to mask off, and I can reuse this tape for all of the pages. So I'm going to do quite a small area here actually, aren't I? But it's easier if I just line it up with the edge of the page rather than having to measure anything. If it doesn't come out perfect square, don't really care. So that's near enough to my eye, that's enough of the square. So that area I'm going to splash some coloured ink on. Some will be brighter than others, some will be quite washy, just quite random. I'm not going to think too hard about what colour, what the prompt is. I'm not particularly going to go, I don't know, maybe I will, maybe I'll write the words in first and then make the colours go. But either way, by the time I start on the first day of October, I will have a coloured square, the word will be written on, and I'll already have a sketch to go by. So it'd just be the fun part to do for October. So that's it, I'm all ready to go, quite excited. Lots of my friends on YouTube have also been getting ready, and we've all been talking about it, so yeah, we're all raring to go. It's a funny thing with Inktober, I always look forward to it, and I always look forward to seeing what everybody else does, but there's always this little bit of you that thinks, oh! And when it's all over you think, I'm actually quite glad that's done now. But then by the next year you're dying to start again. So anyway, yeah, that's all I got to say for today. Let me know in the comments, are you doing October? What prompt lists are you following? Are you making up your own theme? What are your favourite supplies? Thanks very much for joining me today, and I'll see you again really soon.